Yeah, so the Believe Initiative started as a youth organization that I founded because after I made the Olympics in 2012, 4 years later, I actually missed qualifying after I'd just come off winning a Pan Am Games silver medal. I was, in the best shape of my entire life. I was like kind of a guarantee to never guaranteed, right? But to make the 2016 Rio Olympics. And then I was gonna, be in the Olympic final, win my medal in a perfect world, and then retire and call it a life, like good work. But what ended up happening is I got injured, classic, just before, tore my hamstring, and then missed qualifying for the Rio 2016 Olympics. And I had been known as Sarah Wells, the Olympian, for 4 years. And somehow now, like Sarah Wells, the Olympian, doesn't make the Olympics. And so I was devastated and took the year off of sport. And that's when I founded Believe Initiative, because I was like, no. For 4 years, I told people, if you believe in yourself, you achieve your goals. Like that's what the tattoo was for. But now I just believed in myself in the 2016 Olympic trials, and I did not achieve my goal. And so is that some type of sick joke that people just tell you to make you feel better? And I realized I actually believed in myself more strongly after not making the Olympics, even more so than when I did. And so clearly you don't build self-belief through achievements, you build self-belief through action. Yeah, so it's the framework for the Believe Initiative program is on three big pillars, which is share, build, and act. And so you start off, and I should have said it in a different order, build, act, share is really what it should have been. Because you have to build out the idea, what that's going to take. You have to connect that passion to that problem. But when we think about what those product ideas can be, we might overwhelm ourselves with like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get all the pieces together? It seems super complex. And so in the build section, we really help you take a complex idea and break it down into like a simple framework and understand how much impact you can create in a simplified format. Then in ACT, we help you, making the Olympics in 4 years is a long process. And how do you take a really big goal, really big vision, and break that down into microcycles and small, minute action steps that keep you inspired, that keep you motivated, that keep moving the project forward? And so we take that action plan and really help you facilitate turning it into life. And then the last part is share, because you can do that good in the community, and that's great, but we don't want it to just be that you passively tell people about what you did and that thing you tried one time and the impact that it made. Cool. But like, rather than going from passive storytelling to really powerful storytelling, and how you can create what I call your like mini keynote around what you did, the impact it made, how it helped you believe in yourself. And that story can be shared both internally to inspire others and publicly to help showcase that brand or the employees themselves of the incredible work that they're doing. So it's build, act, share. And there's 6 steps in the process to help it like bring to life, but we don't have enough time to get into all of that.
Wow. Build, act, share. I love it. Yeah. I love it. Very cool. Well, thank you very much. I got to ask, I mean, I know the work that you do with the schools is one thing. The school, also the work you do at corporations is separate, but how does all that make you feel?
I mean, it's taught me why I needed to go through both sides of the story, because like I said, I had the moment where I was resilient. I got back up. I believed in myself, and I had the triumphant finish where I make it to the Olympic Games, and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then 4 years later, I was resilient. I got back up. I believed in myself. I stood on that start line and went for it anyways, and it just didn't work out. Yet every single time I shared the stories of whether the time I made it and the time where I didn't make the Olympics, far more people tell me after the fact that they're more inspired by the time where I didn't make the Olympics over the time where I did. And I think that's because we've kind of all remembered that moment where we poured our heart and soul into something and we watched it just either be yanked away from us or evaporate in front of our eyes, like especially this year, right? Like what you define success to be, what that pursuit of excellence was. And then it's just like overnight, seemingly, things just like exploded. And I think now being able to use my story to show people that like hard work isn't always going to lead to success. Like that sucks, but that's true. Like I worked just as hard in both times that I was trying to pursue the Olympic Games, and hard work won't always lead to success. But if you're resilient, if you choose to get back up, you can pick those lessons up and you can apply it to your next opportunity to find success. And so really what it means to me, it's helped my healing to understand why I needed to miss the Olympic Games, why I needed to fail, because
Right.
I can now inspire people, because I'm not just coming from a place of, hey, it's important to believe in yourself because look at me, I always achieved it when I believed in myself. It's like, look, I still believe that to be true, even though it didn't work out for me one time, so it's really meaningful to be able to use that story to inspire others. And honestly, it's helped me heal. Like, it's self-serving as well,
Yeah.
it's both. And I feel grateful to have the opportunity to do it.
That's great. So tell us, what does that next level of success look like?
So now I want to achieve Olympic level success in my Believe Initiative programming. I want to be in 1,000 schools across North America. I want to work with like the top Fortune 500 companies, helping them reimagine volunteerism and corporate citizenship. And I don't know what are all the steps to make that happen.
Yeah.
But I know if I keep telling people this is the dream, this is the plan, this is the vision, that's what I said is my key to success. Ask for help. Tell people what you're pursuing. Like, guys, I want to be in 1,000 schools. So do you know whether it's guidance counselors, leadership teachers, or amazing student leaders? Great. Hook them up with me, because that's that plan. If you are in HR or you're the head of people at a corporation, please let's chat, because I want to be working with those major companies who want to make a difference, like truly make a difference, and help you reimagine what that looks like through the Believe Initiative framework. So next level is Olympic level of that.
I love it. I love it. That is awesome. And that's so perfect. I just love that. Because that's what I do. That's what a lot of people do, with what we try to do anyways, with speaking on our goals and telling other people our goals. I mean, sometimes some of us are embarrassed to say what our goals are.
Because it holds you accountable to it. If you don't get it, then what, right?
Right, exactly. That's part of it. But then also, what if somebody said, you'll never do that, or you can't do that, or you should, if somebody talks down to you about your goal, how would that make you feel?
Right.
So I love what you're talking about and how you're saying it. So that it's just perfect. So you've got a lot going on, and you have so much that is in your periphery, so much that is in front of you. You know what your vision is, but tell us who sees your blind spots.
So I think like people that are there through the process and journey, I feel really lucky to have a really amazing partner. His name is Blake, and we think very differently. He's an aerospace engineer that now works in product, and I took kinesiology, and I'm like marketing, and I like action, like whatever, and he can rise above and be an engineer about it. He can look at kind of like, where are the gaps and what are you missing and what questions might you need to have answered before you move forward. And I'm so grateful to have his brain for free,
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, let's have a chat about this. And so he's really wonderful at helping me just see things that I might not see. And, at times it's challenging, especially when it's your partner, right? You're like, you just hate the idea, why do you hate this?
You're a dream killer.
Reminding yourself that like they are doing that out of love, like they want to support you. And that's whether it's your business partner or, your manager at your office or, a peer of yours. Like, people aren't always like necessarily critiquing stuff to be harmful. Like, they are sometimes really trying to be helpful. And I think if we open ourselves up to the idea, and it's potentially called being coachable, right? It's like what people want in employees all the time, of like someone who can identify a blind spot for you and then say, okay, this is a thing, and have you not just like resist it so hard or shut it down or make excuses. It's like, when you can understand like they are doing this to help me get better, it allows you to not only like actually see your blind spots as well, but like work with them on how to better that. And so, I try to adopt that mindset as much as possible when Blake and I are going through ideas I might have, or, whenever someone has that. Awesome.
So my youngest son, He's a junior, and he is in aerospace engineering. So,
oh, no way.
We may talk a little later.
That sounds great.
Maybe you talked about blind spots. You talked about how Blake has helped you with that, but how now accepting that and accepting the criticism, sometimes criticism, but sometimes other information you get back. How do you make sure you receive that as a gift, and how do you really work with it? Because that's hard. That's a hard thing to do. You're an Olympic athlete. Maybe it's easier for you, but there are times for me where, you know, I'm really set on this one idea, this one thing that I'm working on. I'm like, that's really good. Don't tell me I need to get rid of that.
Yeah, right.
So how do you deal with that?
Well, I think it's like reminding yourself within that conversation about the fact that you know they're coming from a place of support. You know that they're just trying to help you get better. And so whether it's like you give, like, I'm a big fan of putting like words in spots that you can see them, like if you put the word support on a sticky note near you when you're having that conversation, or you address that in the thing, like say, like, I need to hear you say like why you're critiquing that thing. Don't just critique it, but like tell me why you see it will better the idea or whatever, because I think then you're on the same page. You understand where each other are coming from. And so it's like, if you can both commit to adopting that mindset, and whoever's critiquing that or looking into your blind spot, if they can say, I'm telling you this because I'm hoping that this will help you see this, or I'm hoping that this will actually better you in this way. If they can, you can ask them to say why, and then you yourself can just be like mindful of whether it's a word or something like, they are here to support me. They're trying to help me get better, and adopt that mindset. So, I mean, I think the whole world being flipped upside down.
Okay.
Not like, I'm not gonna say like I'm trying to work on solving the vaccine. Like, obviously I'm not, but I think just like continuing to prepare for the uncertainty and what does it look like as the world comes a little bit back into normal. Like, okay, we've adapted to make our programming virtual, but what does it look like in a hybrid format? What does it look like when things change a little bit again? What does it look like if no one ever goes back to work? Like, right. I don't think that will be true, but like, what's like, how are you dealing with that uncertainty? And I think where I'm fortunate to kind of pull from sport and use that right now is you work your butt off for 4 years with zero guarantee that you're going to make the Olympic Games. And what it takes is like a healthy level of kind of ignorance of just like, don't care what the odds are, like, don't care, like, and it's a matter of like continued improvement and